18th will mark 3 years from when I made the life-changing decision to cut my hair into a mohawk. The mohawk hairstyle is a very unique form of self-expression and can be used to show spirit in various different events and also the creativity, as seen in these pictures to my left. Whenever I wear out my mohawk, I get questions from all kinds of people, fellow students, staff members, Clemson fans, just anyone who spots it. The mohawk hairstyle is often marveled at by those who see it and come across it, and there's always multiple questions that arise. The mohawk has become a very integral part of my personality throughout its lifetime, growing it from about 1 inch tall, which is about that length, all the way to 14 inches tall, which is what it is now. Throughout that time, I've had it in many different shapes and colors, as you can see in a few of these pictures. And I've also answered hundreds of different questions that people have come to me with. And also, throughout its course of life, I have learned a lot of history about the Mohawks as well. Let's begin with the often misunderstood history of Mohawks. The true origin of Mohawk is kind of unknown. However, there's a whole bunch of different theories. In a 2001 article written by Mitchell Raphael, he quotes George Hamill, a curator of anthropology in the New York State Museum in Albany, who said, "The hairstyle itself was first seen and described by French explorer Samuel de Champlain among the Hurons of southwestern Ontario," which is contrary to most people's belief that it started with the Mohawk tribe. And according to a 2004 edition of the book titled Fashion, Costume, and Culture, the first time the Mohawk hairstyle was actually identified, or falsely identified, with that Mohawk tribe was in a book written in 1656 by a Dutch Reform minister. That began today's misconception of the hairstyle itself. Another possible origin for the Mohawk hairstyle was I found in a news article from Yahoo back in 2003, where some farm equipment turned up a 2,300-year-old body of an Iron Age man who actually had his hair shaved on either side, and he had some sort of gel spiking it up. So, dating the Mohawk all the way back 2,300 years. Now that we looked at the history of the Mohawk, I'd like to inform you of the various different styles. According to the 2012 Webster Dictionary, the Mohawk is defined as hair with a narrow center strip of usually upright hair and shaved on either side. From this, many styles can be created. The first of these styles is the fam, such as these pictures and also this one, which is done by teasing the hair up and hairspraying it along the way. This is generally only done for Mohawks about this length or slightly longer, because for something like this it takes about 3 hours to perfect. The second style of Mohawk that you can get is the Chelsea Hawk, which is what you see in the top right corner, which is the girl version of a Mohawk, where they have bangs still and it makes it look a little more feminine. And the third style is my favorite style, which is Liberty Spikes, which is very common among really large Mohawks because it's just much easier to hold all the base together. It doesn't fall down as easily. The current record holder, Kazuhiro Watanabe, which is right in the center, styles his hair in such a way for his 3 foot, 8.6 inch tall Mohawk, which is quite incredible. Step one of creating the Liberty Spikes is to separate out your hair and however many spikes you want. I do 5, it's just the most common for me. And then step 2 is to work on each of the bases of the hair using, that's the hairspray, got to be. And I use that to solidify the bases. And then the third step, you work all the way up to the tip. And then the final step is to fix all the frayed ends. And then it's usually when I apply the temporary orange for football games, which is what you see in that bottom photo. The third topic I'll inform you about is actually the most useful to all of you guys, which is the most commonly asked questions I get walking around. On any given day, I get about 50 different questions. The first question I get is, how do I sleep with my Mohawk up? And usually this is done on my side or stomach because the dorm beds are too narrow to really roll over anyway. And the second question is, how do I get into cars? And this one's really tricky. I can't drive anymore because it's gotten so long, but I usually have to just lean the seat back and tilt my head to the side. And then comes, what do you use to spike it up? Which is this got-to-be glued hairspray. And then from that always follows the how much of it do you use, which is about a third of that bottle is how much hairspray I actually use. I hope you have learned about the Mohawk hairstyle and were slightly entertained by this crazy hairstyle. By looking at the history of the Mohawk, the various styles it has, you can see how unique the Mohawk hairstyle really is. I also hope you have all of your Mohawk-related questions answered. I always enjoy expressing and sharing my knowledge of the Mohawk hairstyle. And now I'm wondering, who's ready to get one?